What's up, YouTube? It's Eric, a Lions fan. Thanks for clicking on this video. We're going to talk about the Michigan State-Michigan games today. Just my little kind of preview, kind of prediction video. I think Michigan, kind of get into this here real quick. I think Michigan and Michigan State win today. Although, very well, Indiana could upset Michigan, but we'll go ahead and we'll wait for, we'll do the Michigan thing last. But first, I want to talk about Michigan and Minnesota. I believe they play at Minnesota today. But the Minnesota defense is really going to have to stop the Michigan run game, or the Michigan State run game. Lewerke is kind of one of the quarterbacks. If he doesn't see anything, he'll take off and run, just like last week against Michigan. And Scott and London and Howes, I think that's how I have it written down here. I can't even read my own handwriting. They're actually kind of struggling a little bit, but you just got to keep feeding those guys the ball. Something eventually is going to break for those three. One of those three. I think that Michigan State, that's probably to me, it's kind of their bread and butter. They can pass the ball, but I think their running game is probably better than their passing game, personally. Rhoda for Minnesota has kind of been their number one quarterback, although P.J. Fleck has not given him a big vote of confidence. Reading the article, I got all this information off of MLive. And T.E. Tyler Johnson seems to be the person that he picks on, maybe to get the job done on a passing play. But pretty much for anything else for the wide receivers, there really hasn't been any real big production. On defense, I'm just going to do this real quick here, guys. On defense, Michigan State is 12th against the run at 97.2 yards, but Minnesota's kind of right behind them at 114 yards a game. So you have two defenses that are probably pretty good against the run, although against the pass, Minnesota's kind of lacking there. Minnesota is definitely going to be a young team, guys. Their defensive backs have been hit quite hard with the injury bug. There was a scandal, a kind of a sexual assault scandal that kind of kicked some people off the team. It didn't go into real big detail on that. It didn't even say if they were anybody significant, which they just said it was a couple of position players that didn't really have any mention on it. But that did happen. And MSU is quite the opposite. They seem to be the team. They seem to be the better team, at least on paper. But we'll have to see how that translates to on the field. I hope it's not a game where Michigan State is going to coming off a good win against Michigan, and they're going to kind of lay an egg against Minnesota. But I think D'Antonio will get the guys fired up and get them ready to play. But again, P.J. Fleck, it's going to take time with this team. I mean, if you guys watch any college football last season or the last 2 or 3 seasons, you know how good of a coach P.J. Fleck is. So him coming into Minnesota, it's going to take a minute to get the foundation set and maybe to get Minnesota up and rolling and all that. But it looks kind of like he's maybe having a few issues right now, but it could be coming in with the last administration and working with the players there. But I think P.J. Fleck will do well. It's just not going to be an day and night kind of thing. So, guys, we're going to go into Michigan, Indiana now. I do like Michigan State to win that game, by the way. This is a game where Indiana very well could win. O'Korn is going to be the starting quarterback. Now, I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know that Spite was going to have back issues. Or his vertebrae, he broke 3 vertebrae in his back. He's out for the rest of the year. I didn't even know that. A couple of people actually called me out and said, Eric, I'm surprised you didn't know this. So, what are you doing? This kind of sort of stuff. I didn't know that. I was at a birthday party watching a football game, and when that came up, I kind of researched it, and it was only like at game time, they said, and no one really even knew about it. That's the thing, until about game time, that Spite had 3 broken vertebrae in his back, and he's going to be out for the rest of the year. So, but anyway, to kind of get back to the game, O'Korn is going to have to play much better than what he did last week against Michigan State. Against Michigan State, he looked to me kind of rattled in the second half. He was maybe almost to the point of playing out of control. He was making bad decisions. He had 3 straight turnovers on 3 straight series. That's not good. And if it happens again, I can't really blame Harbaugh really for putting in Peters. I think putting Peters in, if he's if O'Korn starts to get rattled and starts to get playing out of control again, I hope he would put Peters in, because really, at this point, what are you really going to lose? I mean, yeah, we may not have a very good record. Michigan may not have a very good record, but at least put Peters in, get him some experience, get him some game time experience, kind of see how he does. He may actually end up being the better quarterback than O'Korn is, but you're not going to necessarily know that until you put Peters in those situations. But I can't see that happening until O'Korn probably looks rattled. He needs to settle down, kind of like he was at Michigan State. Probably, Harbaugh really should have put Peters in, or whoever's the offensive coordinator should have put Peters into that game. But that's going to get off my soapbox on that. Ramsey for Indiana, he's kind of like Lewerke for Michigan State. He can set in the pocket, but if he gets pressure, he can move out of the pocket and gain some yards. I think Indiana could very well upset Michigan today. Their defense is kind of a bend but don't break style. That kind of I was reading through the MLive report. That's kind of what I got. Higdon and Evans for Michigan are probably going to be the two go-to guys for Michigan. Now I kind of want to see some run and pass against Michigan to kind of keep the defense on their toes to kind of what's going to happen. And Ellison and I can't read. Oh, maybe Gert. I believe that's how I can't even read my own handwriting again here. For Indiana, the article kind of went to say that they weren't that the Indiana run game wasn't really that good, or maybe not solid enough, or hasn't been. I'm trying to think of the right word here, and I know those two words aren't the best, but maybe solidified yet. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to look for. But it kind of went to that the Indiana run game wasn't doing really well. And guys, I don't know. It just kind of seems like that in that article that the defensive front four for Indiana are good, but the linebackers are kind of not to say that they're playing bad or anything, that maybe they just don't have the people around them to get them that push. Their defensive backs really aren't that great. The secondary isn't that great from what the article that I read. Michigan has actually got that. Yeah, I like Michigan to win, but I would not be surprised if Indiana pulls the upset here, especially if O'Korn gets out of control like he was last week. And if that happens, I hope they put Peters in, get him some experience too. So, guys, I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. I'm going to watch some College Game Day. There's actually quite a bit of sports going on today. You got the ALCS, you got the NLCS today. You got Michigan and Michigan State. I believe the Pistons are playing and the Red Wings are playing today. So there's a full slate of sports. If you're a big sports nut, Saturday is the day to do it. And guys, my next video is going to be the Detroit Lions and the New England Saints, which I'll do that in another video. I was going to try to put this all into one video, but I think it's better that, now I'm thinking about it going right now, I think it's better that I put it in a the college football Michigan State predictions, and then I'll do a prediction for the Detroit Lions. And so I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you agree, disagree? Do you think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, whatnot? Go ahead and put it down in the comments, and also do a like, subscribe as well, would you? And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope to see you guys again soon. Deuces, guys. Take care.